giant. I'm always running from this big man. My mother always says, well, you know, that's nothing but the devil. He's just trying to get you, you know. He just wants your soul. But he never gets me. It is funny, when I wake up, I'm always exhausted from running.
She was sassy, smart mouth, always following me, you know. And my father made it a point, you know, listen, you gotta watch her and take care of her. If something happens to her, don't come home. We became just like, you know, she was my best friend. My mother is known all over the world, and she sang backgrounds for everybody.
Sissy sang from her heart, and she taught Nippy to sing from her heart.
Heart. Mind. Guts.
She loved her mother dearly, but her mother was the disciplinarian. Her mother was hard on her when she was training her, would make her do it over and over and over again to get it right.
She was a little tough on Whitney because she knew what Whitney had. They would come home a lot of times mad at each other. Whitney come in stomping, cursing, and this and that, go to the room, slam the door. And my mother, you know, telling her, listen, if you want to sing, you know, this is what's got to happen. If you don't, tell me now, and I won't waste my time.
You know, it sounds like I'm giving you the gas, but so help me. They had a really great family dynamic going on.
My father and loved my mother. Them breaking up and getting divorced really bothered her. It bothered me.
What was it that drove them apart?
I don't know.
Infidelity?
My dad, despite whatever philandering he might have been doing, was extremely jealous.
The truth is, Sissy did have an affair with the minister at her church.
Her heart was broken. That church had been Whitney's second family.
We had a good, tight-knit family, but there were always a lot of secrets in our lives. You know, there were a lot of secrets. When you don't resolve things and you don't deal with things, they never go away. They never go away.
For a long time, she was just singing background in Sissy's show.
My mother was grooming her. When I look back, I remembered my mother grooming her.
At this time, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others those of you who may not know that this young lady happens to be my offspring, of whom I'm very, very proud. My daughter, Miss 휘트니 Houston.
What she was doing, it wasn't something that the record industry was interested in. But bit by bit, we got offers. Eventually, the two labels offering good deals were Elektra, which was Bruce Lundvall, and Arista, which was Clive Davis.
Children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
The two offers were pretty even, but we decided to go with Clive.
Show them all.
You know, you get that spine tingle when you know you're in the presence of somebody very special. And that genius, that vocal interpretive genius, had a profound impact on me.
Yeah. Woo! Hey, yeah. Yeah. Clock strikes upon the hour and the sun begins to fade.
I was 16 and we were working on summer jobs. I remember thinking, wow, this is really gonna be a trip this summer. I don't have any friends. And then here comes Robin with this beautiful, beautiful afro. She was tall and very statuesque, and I was like, wow, man. She stood up for me. And I remember thinking, I've known this person, it seems like all my life.
And with Whitney, the press loved her. She was the Black Princess. That also included, oh, and look how great her family life is, and look how wonderful her parents are and her siblings. I mean, for years, people didn't even know that John and Sissy were divorced. You know, they showed up at events together, play acting the perfect family. But then stories started to appear about Whitney and Robin.
Not too long ago, I was in Detroit. I did a radio show. For over an hour, about 30 calls came in. They really just wanted to know, well, what is the story of Whitney? Is she gay or is she not?
Whitney is not gay. That is a story on that. The only gayness I feel is when I'm happy, honey. That's it.
That's all that really matters.
That's all that matters, yes.
What did you make of John?
He could be very charming, but he was an opportunist. And so he didn't hesitate to get my dad out of there. He wanted to be running the show.
He didn't like the idea of anyone else being in charge.
No, he was head, he was Captain Houston. Shit, are you kidding me? He loved being a boss.
Once John took over, everybody in the family except Sissy was on the payroll. And all the decisions were just about, the money.
As we took care of her baggage, we made sure she was safe, and she was.
The idea was that they could watch over her and they could protect her. But both of them were doing drugs.
I was using drugs. Little did you know. Straight up killer.
I was sitting in the front row. She just kept nudging me.
Get busy!
I said, excuse me. She said, yeah. It was just really funny how she said it, like, with this attitude.
Oh, yeah. So then in walks Bobby Brown.
She's sophisticated, and he's unrefined, that Bobby Brown.
We from the hood. And Bobby was a black boy from the hood. The type my mother always kept away from her.
He's both of her brothers, all rolled into one.
Looking forward to starting her life with her husband.
She called me when she was on her honeymoon, and she said, Aunt Bay, I didn't get my period. I'm pregnant.
That's my daughter. That's me, Bobby's little girl.
She's just like her father, doesn't she?
I think in the beginning, she was a good parent. Whitney hated leaving Chrissy. It's hard when you're working and traveling. She had the same situation as her mom. But she insisted on taking Chrissy on tour.
Oh, you're the best kid in the world. You're the best kid in the world.
The bodyguard?
The bodyguard.
What are you playing at? I mean, you're with Kevin Costner.
Well, I'm not the bodyguard.
No, you wouldn't be that.
No, I play an entertainer.
The idea that she was my leading woman seemed to be a very big deal in the black community. I never saw that. I simply saw she was the cutest, most beautiful girl that could sing.
Okay. The hits. So kind of equal, close enough. And then the bodyguard hit. And she shot up into the stratosphere, and he knew instinctively he would never get there. And he just kind of shut down.
Bobby!
He did things on purpose to hurt her because he wasn't the star.
Bobby Brown is behind bars today.
Between the press and everybody saying that it's not going to last, it was constantly biting at her.
But she didn't want to be like her mother, a divorcee. She was going to prove that she could do it.
She was kind and soft and sweet. And then she was somebody different.
Everything began to spiral out of control.
I talked to her father, I talked to her mother, I talked to Donna Houston, every person that you're going to interview. And I was able to get Sissy to do an intervention. First of all, we walked in to do it, and Whitney was stoned. And then after it was over, when she had agreed to go to rehab, she phoned her father, and he told her, you don't have to go.
Why would nobody confront the situation?
Money, their jobs, their nice houses, their access to other celebrities, the fact that, in my opinion, they had no marketable skill set other than being a Houston or related to a Houston.
Working for Whitney, Robin was always putting Whitney's considerations first.
Robin felt that Bobby was a bad influence. She really and truly felt he was a bad influence and that he would destroy her.
Robin gave her an ultimatum. It's gonna be me or him.
Whitney said, tell her that I accept her resignation. And I called Robin up and said, I just spoke with Whitney and she wanted me to tell you that she accepts your resignation.
Finally had total control.
She loved her daddy, and she trusted him, but that allowed for a lot of foxes to come in the hen house.
Standing was that and got together and started stealing money. A lot of money.
Found out about it. All the money he stole, she hated it. She cut him off. That's what she did.
Last September, the biggest blow of all. Houston's father, who managed his daughter's finances, joined his business partner in a lawsuit against her, demanding $100 million.
Well, and then Daddy turns around and wants to sue her for $100 million. That would break anybody's heart.
Whitney didn't come to her dad's funeral.
It's me against the world.
Whitney did a concert for Michael Jackson. She looked so bad. The cat was out of the bag. The record company felt she had to do a sit-down interview and talk about this.
If you had to name the devil for you, the biggest devil among them?
That would be me.
I saw that interview and I thought, why are we here? Why are we doing this? I always thought, why are we doing this? Why are we not doing the one thing that would make the difference for her life?
You have, and yet she never managed to get clean. What do you think? I know it's a very complicated answer, but why was that?
No, I don't think it's not complicated, because to go into treatment, you have to go for you, not for someone else. And you have to tell the real problem.
They're 9 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old, and being kind of molested by a female a family member of mine.
And that bothered you a lot?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mother and father were gone a lot, so we stayed with a lot of different people. You know, me and my brother and my sister stayed with 4 or 5 different families who took care of us.
Gary told me that he suffered sexual abuse as a child. Did you ever hear that the same thing happened to Whitney?
I have heard it. We was talking one day, because she knows my sister, and my sister was molested at an early age, and she looked up at me and she says, Mary, I was too. I said, huh? She said, yeah, I was molested at a young age too. She said, but it wasn't a man, it was a woman. And she had tears in her eyes.
Public and very troubled marriage has come to an end. Whitney Houston has filed for divorce from her husband, Bobby Brown. The two singers, who have 1 child, have been married for 14 years. Surprised it lasted that long. Anderson, back to you.
For the very first time, she was determined to become clean. She went to rehab in California for about 7, 8 months, but she couldn't complete the program because she didn't have any money, nothing.
She wanted to do the movie. She needed the job. When she wasn't working, she'd sit on set just to hang out with people. Saturday night, took all the cast out to celebrate. I invited her. She showed up. She went to the football game with some of the guys. I mean, she really, really, really was there.
We finally come to an end. Oh well, we finally come to the end.
Mary, I got to get my shit together. She said, because I got to see Jesus. And I gave her this look like, right. So I ran the water. She got in the tub. And she wanted these cupcakes. She said, Mary, I just want a sprinkle cupcake. I swear, get two, but I won't eat but one. And I left her smiling, brushing her hair in the tub. I wasn't gone but 30 minutes.
다큐멘터리 영화 휘트니는 가족과 주변인의 인터뷰를 통해 휘트니가 어떤 삶을 살았으며 왜 죽음을 선택했는지 그녀의 마지막 길을 담담하게 보여줍니다. 휘트니가 마약을 한 것은 용서받을 수 없는 선택이었습니다. 그러나 어린 시절의 성추행 트라우마, 학창시절의 따돌림, 가족의 붕괴, 이혼의 두려움, 변덕스러운 대중의 사랑은 하나로 뭉쳐 거인이 되고 악마가 되어 그녀를 괴롭혔습니다. 그녀는 계속해서 도망쳤고 그럴수록 마약 중독은 심각해져 갔습니다. 휘트니의 삶은 아이러니였습니다. 음악과 영화의 성공을 통해 슈퍼스타가 된 후 그녀는 급격히 침몰합니다. 대중은 그녀가 살아있을 때 한물간 약쟁이 가수라 조롱했지만 그녀가 떠난 후 대중은 영원한 레전드 가수로 추모합니다. 그녀가 마지막 선택을 했을 때 원하던 것은 무엇이었을까요? 평온한 영면이었을까요? 아니면 대중의 마음속에 남는 영원한 스타였을까요? 제 영상에서 보여드리지 못한 휘트니의 다양한 음악과 삶은 원본을 통해 시청해 주시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다. 좋은 시간이었습니다.